perfect story, perfect example of following the rec approach. Lance, was that an eye opener for you?
Yes. So I was like, when I called him after that, and I just couldn't say anything. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that because I completely forgot about it. So I was like, all right. So
That's
next time,
great.
like, I know what to do. So like,
All right. Well, let me recap that. Okay. So for you, those of you that, and I'm doing this for the recording just as much as I'm doing it for anybody who just jumped on. So Lance did the demo, did what he could to get an order, and then said at the end, didn't follow the recommendation approach. Just said, as I mentioned at the beginning, I get paid just to do these. So can you give me some recommendations? Right. And then customer's just silent, right? He was going to get 0 recommendations. And Hans was field training, jumped on, said, hey, let me help out our rep here. JT was the customer's name, right? JT, Lance, start over here. Go back and click on the recommendation part on your website, and then read the script there. And we're just going to start over. And so I ended up reading the script and using the answers to objections and thought joggers. Ended up getting 10 ultimately, which is great. All right, so we're still averaging over 10 recommendations in the entire class. As a review, so now we're at 6 appointments for 3 orders. So right now we're at 50% in the order department, and we're at 700, 800, about 830 bucks. Okay, so far, something like that for the averages. All right, very good. Who else got to do an appointment last night? Raise your hand or wave if you got to do your first appointment last night. Dat, I know Dat did. Okay, Dat, tell me about, you got to do one, right?
Yes, I only did one. I was supposed to do one with my mom at first, but she said she didn't really want to do it for some reason. So I went
that's when you gotta put your mom in a headlock. Say, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm in my fast art contest. This girl, Lexi, she already has 2 sales for crying out loud. She's crushing me, Mom. You don't want me to get beat by a girl, do you? You got to say whatever you got to say, man. You got to say whatever you got to say. No, I'm just. All right. So, but you got an order on that one, right? You got your first sale?
Right. I did get my first sale.
Okay.
She wanted she already already had like, Cutco knives at her house because her nephew actually already worked for Cutco, and also she did work for Cutco when she was 18.
Oh, she was a sales rep for Cutco, and she was 18.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
I think she's like 40. I don't know.
Oh, so she's old.
Yeah.
So she worked for when she was 18. Anyway, I always like to know where they worked and everything. I bet I know who their manager was, and if she did it well, I probably wouldn't know her. But all right, cool. So what did she end up getting?
She wanted a cheese knife, spatula.
Okay, yes, because they didn't have cheese knife 20 years ago, so that's cool. Spatula spreader. Do you know what the total CPO was? So it was a customized CPO?
It was customized. It was a customized order. I'm not too sure about the CPO, but
Hans, help us out. What was the CPO on that?
Not Downey.
Oh, Dat, you're Long Beach.
Oh, yeah, wrong.
Bruckner, help us out. What's the CPO on that?
220.
220. All right, good, solid order. Just a little bit below what the division's average order is, but that's no problem. It's good, actually. And how about Rex? Did you remember to ask for recommendations and do the rec approach?
She says she'll get back to me.
Oh, don't let people give you that. Yeah. So when people say get back with you, when they're willing to do it, but they say, oh, let me get it back to you. Say, hey, no problem. You can email me, or you follow the script. It's in there. It says something. Right. You can send me as many as you want later, but I really need to get 5 right now. So just go and who's the first 5 that come to mind, right? And you just at least get the 5, right? Because that's the number you need to average to make sure you perpetuate your business. Because as nice as this person is, and as good intentions as they have, that I'm going to give those referrals later. Here's what happens literally 99 times out of 100 is they just procrastinate it for an hour, then 2, then 5, then a day, then 2 days. And after a couple of days, you're just never going to get them, right? And every time you call them, you're going to feel like you're pestering them and bugging them, and it's going to be awkward, and you're going to hate it, okay? So get at least 5 right then, and then say, you can give me more later, okay? Maybe to give you the 5, maybe they will get you more later, but we will see. All right, good work there. 1 for 1 so far, and you just heard our average number of recommendations there, Dad. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to come over there. I might have to, what I used to say when I was a branch manager, I used to jokingly threaten people with violence. I'm going to come to your house and smash your little toe with a ball peen hammer. I think I used to say something ridiculous like that. I probably get sued for saying stuff like that now. I don't know. But 30 years ago, nobody cared. All right. Somebody was asking a question. Hans, if there's a question on the group chat that I need to address, let me know. Otherwise, you can answer it to people if you like. And let me make you a co-host here, so you can help out with that. And then Bruckner, I'm going to make you a co-host. Where's Bruckner?
I have a question, but I don't even know where the button is to put my hand up.
Well, if you asked a question in the chat, Hans is going to read the questions, and he's going to monitor the group chat.
Okay, perfect.
Amount of time here, and I may not be able to. Oh, there's Bruckner. I'm going to make you a co-host, Bruckner, so you can do things if you need. And if and Hans can answer your question privately. If it's a question that needs to be answered publicly, he'll let me know, and we'll. If it's a good question for everybody. All right, we got to move fast here. Catherine, did you get to do your first one last night? You
Yes,
did you have anybody field training with you?
No, not yet.
No field training. Okay. So,
Um,
so you
I
got
had a
one
question.
appointment. Did you get an order on there?
No, I didn't. But I had a question. The person that I was presenting to wasn't they weren't believing that the knives actually work. So I was wondering if like
Let me
I
ask you
could get
let me ask you about this person. Are they over 30?
Yeah.
Married?
Yes.
They own a home?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the husband and the wife together, or just one of the two?
I saw both of them.
Both of them together. Okay, good. Well, that sounds like a good qualified prospect. Well, I got a question for you. How do you think that customer could find out if they really work?
Well, I was wondering if we could get like loan kits or something so we could show them that it actually works, or is that not possible?
You will be able to eventually, but just not right now because of the governors forbidding it basically. But yeah, loan kit. But let's say you were doing the demo to someone in Virginia, and there's no way you could even if you had a kit, you couldn't actually hand it to them because we get sales like this all the time. How do you think a customer could try out the product and actually use it in their kitchen to see if it works? What do you think they could do?
You can just buy it. And then if they don't like it,
That's why we have the guarantee.
they can
We
return it.
know some people are going to not be sure if it works, right? So we built this guarantee to give that person assurance that they have nothing to lose whatsoever, right? If it does work like it says it works and it is valuable and they decide not to get it, then they lose. They lose out on this amazing product, this amazing value. But if they try it and it works, then they gain. But if they do try it and it doesn't work, which it always does, then they lost nothing, right? See, I'm going to give you an advanced piece of mindset, but customers don't care if they buy something or not. They care if they make the right choice. That's all anybody cares. Are they making a wise decision, making the right choice for them? Well, our guarantee protects people from making the wrong choice. Okay. So that's what I would probably just leverage the guarantee. And they might have just been giving you a hard time or something like that, and having a field trainer would have probably helped quite a bit because more than likely somebody like that, I wasn't there, nobody was there, so I can't tell you what exactly happened, but I've got a lot of experience. So probably what happened is if they're saying, oh, I don't know if it'll work, whatever, if I'm the new rep and I have no experience, I'm probably not following the script and showing all the different sets and working on the custom and giving them the price of the custom set. I'm probably just skipping all that because I feel awkward. Okay.
Mhm.
Is probably what happens, right? You don't have to say if it did or didn't, but I'm just saying that a lot of times is what happens. All right. So very good. And so, and also if you weren't able to kind of influence them, that the product is of high quality, I'm wondering how you did on the recommendations. Did you get to even ask for the recommendations, or did you just probably maybe I shouldn't even ask because this is a weirdo situation?
Yeah, for the first presentation, I got 3 recommendations, and for the second one, I only got 2. So I got my
Okay.
5.
So you got to do 2 appointments.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
For the second person I presented to, they more wanted to buy the product, like they were like for it, but it was just too much money for them.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you on a couple of these situations let's see, Lance, on your first one, if you'd had a field trainer there, they would have bought. Okay. The people that said, because of the situation that we're in, as long as they still had their job, you guys probably in a couple of days, once you get like 5 demos under your belt, we'll send you a little video that talks about how to, how we're making so many sales during the coronavirus and what to do when people say, oh, the pandemic is, I don't know, I shouldn't buy because of the pandemic. That's silly because there's lots of other people buying because of the pandemic. We have thousands of customers literally in the last 3 weeks that have said, oh my gosh, this is so great. I'm cooking so much more. I'm in the house so much more. Definitely, I want to get Cutco now. This is the best time I could possibly be getting Cutco. So if some people are saying the pandemic is the reason that they are buying, it doesn't make sense that somebody else could say the same reason is the reason that they're not buying. Okay. So that's a cover up, or some people call it a smoke screen for a real something their real hesitation. Okay. It's just what they grasp onto. People do the same thing around Christmas. Some people say, oh, no, I'm not going to buy now because of Christmas, right? Well, that doesn't make any sense because there's thousands of other people say, oh yeah, it's Christmas is coming up. I'm going to do a lot of entertaining. We're going to do a lot more cooking. Yeah, this is a good time to get Cutco, right? Does that make sense? So it's Christmas. There's something else. It usually is. They don't think that it's the right value for them, or the set configuration that they're looking at is not right for them. It's not the pandemic. Okay, that can't be a thing. In other words, anyway, you get it. All right. So field trainers, you guys, beg your office, beg your manager for field training. And I know we can't field train everybody on every single appointment, but doggone it, we're going to try to do as many as we can. And you'll see some really good results from that. One thing we're not doing, and I should have done is found out if every one of these demos is a CSW demo, but anyway, we'll just keep going through it. All right. Amanda, did you get to do your first one?
Yes,
Okay. Did you get to do one or more than one?
just one.
One last night. All right, cool. Tell me about how it went. Just first of all, who was it for?
My mother.
Mom. Is mom currently married?
No.
Halfway married? What? I don't know how to take that.
Let's just go with yes. Okay, sure. Yeah.
All right, she's got somebody that's a married like person in her life.
Yes.
All right, that's close. That's close enough. Now, was that married like person there present for the appointment also?
No, he was at work.
Okay, so it's a single one. Okay, and what was the end result of it? You don't have to tell me all the details, but was it an order? Or was it not an order?
Not in order.
Not an order. All right. What was her? What did she give us her reason?
She just wasn't looking for anything right now.
Okay, that'll come with a new level of confidence and experience. I got that a lot when I was brand new, and I didn't realize that the way I presented actually helped to influence that thought. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You guys, I'll tell you now, since you've already done your first demos, I was one of the worst starters in company history. Okay, I literally made one sale to my mom on my first appointment, and then I went and proceeded to do 19 demos in a row without a sale. I was 1 for 20. Right? You guys are Daphne's jaw drops. Right? Why didn't you quit? Right? I don't know why I didn't quit. I'm stupid, maybe. I don't know. But I learned and throughout my first week, and I did 20 appointments, by the way. I did it in like 4 days. Okay, so I was cranking demos out, which made it probably help me learn a lot faster. But I learned a lot of ways to fail. It's what I learned. I didn't choose very good people to show the product to, and because I didn't show the product to very, very many good people in my first 5, my mindset was already thinking, oh, this stuff is really expensive. Nobody's probably going to buy. And so I went into every appointment thinking that nobody was going to buy because I had 4 people in a row tell me that they weren't going to buy. So anyway, Jennifer, yes, you can jump off if you've got to go to an appointment. And by the way, thank you for being here. I know you went through training last week, but maybe some of the conversation you're hearing is helpful for you. Have you, Jennifer? Have you seen the video, the coronavirus closing video? How to close demos during the coronavirus?
I have not, so I'll
Your
wait for
manager
that.
is Ron, or your manager? You're Long Beach or you're Downey?
Long Beach.
Long Beach. John Bruckner, you have a copy of that? You have the link to that YouTube video?
I don't actually.
Are you kidding me? All right,
I-
John Bruckner, email me or text Hans for the link. Hans can get it over to you, and you can get it to Jennifer. Jennifer, it's 19 minutes, and it will make you about $1,000 in the next 2 months if you implement. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Really good information. It'll help you. You're already making sales in most of your appointments already, so that's okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good. We'll see you later. Thanks for being here.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Lisa, did your question get answered by somebody, by the way?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
it did.
All right. Good. Amanda, how about recommendations? Did you remember to ask for recommendations? Push the space bar and we'll unmute you. There you
Yeah, I got like 8.
go. 8. All right. That's more than 5. That's the number that we're always going to be working on. Always hitting that 5 number. Okay. So we're doing pretty good average on Rex. We're definitely well over 5 average on Rex. Our closing percentage is just right around the 50% mark. So looks like so far. Higher with field training. I'm noticing that we're getting a lot more sales happening when there's a field trainer there. That's because the script gets followed more closely usually. Mina,
Oh,
Nina-
sorry. One
oh.
question. How do we get a field trainer with us?
you beg, please, manager, give me a field trainer. Right. We're trying to get them all set up with as many people as possible. Jeff, you've got a demo. Okay. Let me get you covered next, Jeff. Yeah, we're trying to get as many as possible. And you talk to your manager about one of your next 2 or 3 demos. We have like 4 people in our office that are helping to field train other offices. You're in Long Beach, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to John Bruckner and say, hey, I need a field trainer, and tell him when your next 3 demos are. Or you can text Ron. Ron's at the chiropractor right now. But
Okay.
I've got about 4 people on my staff that are, I know a couple of them already have some field trainings lined up, but a couple are waiting to hear, hey, when can I field train? Okay. So we can get you field trained definitely today if you have, at least a couple of appointments. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, cool. All right, Jeff, you said you got to hop off here. So did you get to do your first one last night?
I did 3 actually.
3? What? All right, 3 appointments. There we go. Hans, how did we do? Did you get to field train on any of Jeff's?
No, what Jeff needs to remember to do is at the beginning of the call, even if there's no field trainer, 3-way in the customer so that we can say hi to the customer, and we can prep the customer for a phone call later on when they figure out kind of what they like.
Oh,
so he's just missed the communication part at the end of training. So he's going to do better at that today.
Okay, good. So let me be clear. So you didn't call and clock in when you were first talking to the customer, call your manager.
No.
Okay. Well, we have everybody listen closely. I know it's brand new, just getting started. If you don't have a field trainer, you still, right when you're getting the demo started with the customer, you say, hey, Ms. Jones, I need to clock in. Just tell the customer, I need to clock in with my manager real fast. I'm going to put you on a 3-way call so he can say hello. And you just put him on hold. You dial up a manager and then you put them on a three-way. Okay. And your manager will talk to the customer and say, hey, I want to thank you, Mr. Smith or Miss Smith, for helping out Jeff. He's working really hard. He just finished his training. And we just want to thank you so, so much. He's working hard now. Just like he probably told you on the phone, you don't have to buy anything, but if you see something that you like or anything catches your eye, we're going to make sure to give you the best deal we possibly can because you're being so generous letting Jeff do this initial appointment. So after you guys watch this little video that shows you a lot of information, Jeff will call me back and we'll talk about some friends and family specials and some great what we can do to give you the very best deal possible. And they're like, oh, great, thank you. And you'll notice that the customer's mindset completely changes from, okay, I'm going to watch Jeff do this demo and not buy anything, to, oh, I can buy something and this guy can give me a really good deal. Okay, maybe I better pay closer attention. And that's what happens when you do that clock in and we talk to the customer. Okay. And you're going to go from, selling 2 out of 10 to selling like 6 or 7 or 8 out of 10 when the manager has a chance to help with that, setting the stage in the beginning. Okay. And there's going to come a time when you won't need that at all because you'll be able to say those things confidently yourself, but you still may want to call and clock in. We have a lot of reps that call for their first month. They call on every single appointment. Okay. Because they can see how that thing adjusts. Okay. Amanda, did you call in and clock in on your appointments and talk to a manager?
No.
You did get to do that?
No.
Oh, you didn't do that. Okay. So, and that could be just something that because we were covering a lot of things in training really fast at the end of the day yesterday. So it could be that it just kind of blew past a lot of folks. All right. All right. So good deal. So Jeff, I'm going to guess at the end, did you remember to ask for recommendations at the end? And did you follow the approach on them?
Yes, I did. And actually on my second appointment, it was company over, but she still did the appointment with me.
Okay.
And then I guess the people in the back heard, and they were already Cutco customers before.
Oh, that's cool.
Then she asked if she could get an appointment with me.
Okay, so she had somebody ask you. Well, that's pretty positive. Well, that turned a situation that I would have said was not as good of a situation into a pretty good situation because you got a Cutco customer who probably, if they want to see a demo, that means they probably want to buy more. Generally speaking, this is an exception to that rule, but generally speaking, if you're talking to somebody and you realize that their environment is not ideal to be able to focus on your demo, meaning let's say they have company over or they're in their car, they're trying to do it in their car, something like that, it's generally better to reschedule those people. Okay. Because it's also very considerate to them. Oh, you've got company, Miss Jones. I don't want to bother you during your have company over. I'd rather do it. Let you spend time with your company. And then whenever we do reschedule our demo here, I'd rather be able to have your focused attention and not have people there that you're trying to entertain at the same time. So, are they visiting for the evening? How about we schedule this for tomorrow, right? And always reschedule a time. One thing not to do is not to say, oh, let me call you tomorrow and we'll get another time. If you've got them on the phone, reschedule it right then. Don't say, I'll call you tomorrow, because then you got to run through the rigmarole of getting in touch with them again and all that stuff. If you've got them on the phone, just reschedule them for a different time. Okay. All right, good. So we had some good learning yesterday. And if you're clocking in today, you'll notice a very different world of things. All right. Let's see here. I want to cover a couple things, and so I can let some of you guys go who got here early. Hey, Desiree, how are you? You finally got a decent sale at the end of the day yesterday after a long day.
Yesterday was brutal.
Yeah, no, that was right. Desiree started last week, and she got her first 2 promotions her first weekend, and yesterday had 7 demos for the day, but did not have the spiciest results, but did have a $200 and something order at the very end. Had a couple of one-knifers throughout the day. But here's the thing that we will tell you, and we'll tell you till the end of time. The best days come after the worst days. So as long as you keep cranking the numbers of demos, I know you have at least 5 a day every day. You're at 30 something appointments now. You're getting close to 40 appointments, and you've only been working for 6 days, right? 7 days. So that's cool. 6 days. 7 days. Today's your 8th day. So anyway, so good work there. And I know you got the field train a lot. I got a lot of good feedback, things that you're doing really, really well. Couple little things that we can work on to still improve, and probably you got some feedback from the field trainers on that yesterday. Awesome. Well, you got the last run of your fast start here. So this is when miracles can happen. As long as you keep running to the finish line, and no matter what the results are, here's my advice: run to the freaking finish line. Meaning your fast start ends on Monday night. After that, if you want to take a day or 2 off and just lay in bed and stare at the ceiling because you've been working so hard, I'm okay if you do that. But let's not do that more than a day or 2. Okay. And you may not care. You may I'm keep going. I want to make money. Right? That's great too, because I know you're an athlete and all that. So cool. I was about to say, I'm going to teach you guys something. Okay. Scholarships. Some people were asking about the sponsorship and the scholarship. Okay. So here you go. There are 3 scholarships that you guys are able to qualify for. Okay. 3. You probably didn't know that. You probably thought there was only 1. The one that you probably heard about is the All-American Scholarship. This is a scholarship that's based on sales. It is the contest happens 3 times a year. Happens once in the spring, kind of like a spring semester of college, once in the summer, and once in the fall. Okay. The spring All-American Scholarship race ends on this Monday, right? And a brand new scholarship race starts on Tuesday for the summer. Okay. So you're not going to win a scholarship for the spring unless you sell between now and Monday night about 20,000. Okay. Because it takes about $25,000 in sales to have a chance at being in the top in the nation. It's a top 25 in the spring. Okay. Anyway, so you don't have to explain in this great detail to the customer, but you should mention to the customer at the beginning of the appointment when you're talking about your goals, right? You're talking about the fast start goal, but you're also talking about, I'm also in a scholarship competition. Okay. And this is a scholarship is based on sales. So if you see something you like and you decided to get it today, that would help me toward my All-American Scholarship. Okay. And it's top 50 in the nation. And the most someone can win on the scholarship on an annual basis is like $3,000. It's not like, $100,000 scholarship for any one person. But we do give away, tens of thousands. I guess it's $100,000 a year in scholarship money. Okay. So that's one scholarship, All-American Scholarship based on sales. And if you want the wording on how to say it, Ms. Jones, the scholarship is based on sales, even though you don't have to get anything. If you see something you like and you did get it today, that would really help me toward my scholarship. Okay. So that gives them an extra reason to buy something, and it gives them an incentive to go ahead and get it now. Okay. So create some urgency. The second scholarship, this will be new to you probably. You get a scholarship every 100 demos you complete. Okay. When you complete 100 demos, Desiree's creeping up on the halfway mark already. You complete 100 demos, 100 qualified demos. Okay. Make sure that they're qualified demos. You can do some non-qualified demos, maybe make some sales, but they don't count toward the scholarship, and they don't, the sales count toward the scholarship, but they don't count toward the 100, and they don't count toward base pay. Okay. But you can do them if you think they're good prospects, and that's just a judgment call on your part. When you do 100 demos, you get a $50 cash scholarship. You can use that for books. You can use that for an online class that you want to take. Some of you guys might be thinking, well, I'm not even a student. You can use it for anything that you want to use it for. Okay. If you're a student, we'll call it a scholarship. If you're not a student and you don't want to call it a scholarship because you don't have anything scholarship-like to spend it on, or maybe you do want to take an online class or something, you could. You can just call it a cash award, right? Every time I get 100 demos, I get a cash award. Okay. 100, I get paid for each appointment, plus I get a cash award. You don't have to tell the customer how much it is. It's $50. I mean, it'll pay for like a half a book these days in college, if you're a college student, because books are expensive. But it's $50 every time you complete 100. Okay. So you should tell every customer what demo they are, right? Ms. Jones, you're my 19th appointment. You're my 3rd appointment. Desiree's going to say today, you're my 38th appointment, right? And you tell them about your scholarship. Okay. This is just one more reason that they want to give you names at the end too, because they want to help you get that scholarship, right? Even if they don't buy anything, because that scholarship has nothing to do with anybody buying anything. It's just with doing appointments. Okay. It's incentive to work. Okay. So you get that. The third scholarship, this is the sponsorship that you're talking to the customers about. And so when you get 50 sponsors, okay, 50 sponsors, you get another $50 scholarship. Okay. So you get a $50 scholarship when you get 50 sponsors. Here's how you get a sponsor. If someone gives you 10 recommendations that counts as one sponsor. If they give you 20 recommendations, that counts as 2 sponsors. Okay. Does that make sense? 1 sponsor for 10, 2 sponsors for 20. Right. So that's how when Lance, I guess, wasn't going to get any appointments, and then he started talking to the customer, and then, he got to 8. Well, Lance did a very smart thing right there. When you're at 8, how close are they to a sponsorship? Only 2, right? Almost every time you can get to 10 if you can get them to 8. All right. And even when they get to 5, right? And this will be a good one for you. Okay. Whenever the lady said, oh, I'll get you some later. And this is a Cutco. This is someone who worked for Cutco. So if she actually worked for Cutco for any period of time and learned any of the skill set that we're trying to teach, she knows that it's not smart for to let the customer say, oh, I'll give you recommendations later. Because she would know that, because she would have had experienced that and not getting them. So I would, that's a really good one to go ahead and say, hey, no problem. You can get them to me later. If you can give me 5 right now, A, it shows that my manager that I'm working and I'm doing the appointments, and B, it'll help keep you from having to remember to do it later for those, right? And so to get to 5, and now when you get to 5, you can just simply say, gosh, you're halfway to being a sponsor. Why don't we just go ahead and get 5 more, right? And half the time they'll go ahead and get to 10. Okay. But you use that 10 as leverage to get to that number, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Right? So 3 scholarships. Is that helpful, Daphne? The 3 scholarships, right? And so when you're sharing your goals at the beginning, you want to share about all 3 of those scholarships. Okay. One is I get 100 demos. I get a cash scholarship. 2 is based on sales. It's a competition. So if you see something you like and you get it today, it's going to really help me out toward that second scholarship. And the third one, Ms. Jones, is actually a scholarship for introducing me to other people. I'll explain that at the end. Okay. You don't explain the third one in the beginning because it'd be too confusing. Okay. You just explain for introductions. Okay. When you introduce me to more people, I can get another scholarship for that. I'll explain that at the end after we're done. Okay. That makes sense, everybody? And then you can talk about the 3 scholarships and you'll be good to go. All right, Daphne and Lexi and Dat and Lance, so you guys that have already shared, feel free to stick around and keep listening if you think you might hear a little nugget of good wisdom. Otherwise, we've had you here for 40 minutes. You can hop off, and if you're going to hop off, do phone time. Okay, either do a demo or do phone time. One of the two. Your fast start contest only happens once. You only have the double credit. Most of you have at least double credit for a day or 2 or 3. I would highly recommend you just crank and open up your queue, touching 10 names, finding out who the next 10 you want to contact, and jam on those calls. You're not supposed to be calling recommendations yet. I know some of you got a lot of recommendations. Lexi, I wrote down Lisa. It's not Lisa, it's Lexi. Lexi, you got 33 recommendations. If some of those recs you got are people that you already know, because you said your mom was working on some, so you might already know them, feel free to contact those. Put all of those 33 in your queue app, okay? And if there's somebody that you know, you can call them because you're going to use the same approach. Hey, they know you. Hey, I got this new job, and you just do it normally. If you have somebody on your list that you don't know, that you've never met, don't call them yet. Okay, we're going to wait till later, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that, and we'll do a little training for you on how to contact the people that you don't know. Because what you say to those people is a little bit different than what you say to people that you know. Okay, awesome. All right, Catherine, we talked to Mina. I was about to talk to you. Mina, real quick. I know you got to do your first one last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you have somebody with you field training on it, or did you do it on your own?
Yeah, Matt was there.
Oh, Matt was there. Okay, good. So hey, Matt's first time to do a field training, by the way. How did you do? Was he
good. He was definitely helping me out a little bit because there's like one part I kind of like didn't know where to go, and he was just like step 5.
Nice. All right, very good. All right, so you got to do one last night, right? I can't remember if I saw that you got an order on that one or not.
I didn't. It was my mom, and she already has a lot of Cutco, so.
Okay. Well, I mean, generally speaking, Cutco customers are some of the best customers that we have. But there's some things that we'll teach you, not today, but over the course of the next week as we have these morning meetings. Like this morning, I thought about scholarship. Tomorrow or the next day, maybe we'll teach about some secrets on how to really help Cutco owners add on to their stuff. Okay, that's a good thing we could teach on. How about recommendations on that one?
Yeah, she gave me a 10. I'm pretty sure it might have been more than that.
Okay, so 10 plus. Okay. Well, you guys, here's what I'm noticing so far. We're really doing great on recommendations on average. Okay, so that's good. A few exceptions in there, but that's super positive. And looks like we probably need to work on just getting our percentage of sales, and that's going to just really help when you're contacting the manager, help them set the stage at the beginning for you, and kind of get the customer's mindset in the right place, and also just more practice, making sure you're following the script and not skipping any of the steps. And when you have a field trainer there with you, that really helps you with that because they help keep you on track. So that's super helpful. Sammy, I don't know if I saw that you got to do your first appointment yet. Did you do one yet or not?
I actually did 2.
Oh, you got to do 2. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. On your own or with a field trainer?
On my own, but that was my mistake because I didn't call in.
Oh.
Yes. So
okay, look,
that was my
I'm not
mistake.
going to blame you guys. You know what I'm going to blame on? I'm going to go and take the blame because maybe I did not. Maybe I just blew past that too fast yesterday and didn't make sure it was clear. So I'll take the responsibility on that. But you understand now that you call in, you call and check in and get that introduction done, and it's going to make a big difference in how the customers respond to everything else in the presentation. So you got to do 2. So did you get an order or no orders?
No,
okay.
I didn't.
All right. So yeah, we're going to keep working on that for you guys. How about recommendations on those? Do you remember to ask for the recs?
Yes, I did. I got 20 in total.
So look, I'm way more excited. You guys are averaging more recommendations than most classes. Okay, most classes will average about 6 or 7. You guys looks like you're averaging over 10, generally in almost every case. So that's really good, and that's more important, right? The recommendations are more important than the sales, even though the sales is what is more fun, right? Right off the bat. So that's really good. All right, Imani. Hello, Imani. Imani is not there. All right, let's talk about today. Let's see, NJ's here, Madison's here, Jason is here. Jason and NJ and Madison are all field trainers that can be available for field training for some people. So you might end up getting connected up with those guys. All right, let's talk about today. What we got lined up for today, and let's kind of help make sure you're scheduled the next 2 days. So Lance, what do you got lined up today, and what do you got lined up for tomorrow?
So today I have 3 appointments, and one is with my sergeant, and he's really excited about. Because he personally called me like a few days ago, like on our first training. He was like, "Oh yeah, I heard you started working for Cutco. Like, I'm interested in like the knives and stuff." Because he said like he was about to go to Costco buy some knives, and I was like, no, can you just wait? And he said, all right, so I'm gonna talk to him today.
All right, well that sounds good. Yeah, I would really work hard to make sure you get somebody field training. Hans, try to line somebody up to field train, even if it's, I mean, it could be Leah, it could be Emiliano. I mean, you got people, I don't know if you got Drake is going to do field training for you or not, but let's try to help out Lance with that.
But, Lance, what time's that appointment at?
It's a 7 p.m.
Okay, cool. You got, I'll three-way in with you. All right.
All right, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. You'll Lance, here's what you'll learn. Well, you already did learn because you were with Hans, met one of your customers. Hans is really great at making the customers relax, and it's because he always smiles and he's always laughing. There's always something to laugh about. Even when something's not funny, Hans is laughing, okay? Which makes the customer start laughing too, right? And it's not a weird, creepy laugh, just so you know. You've experienced it. And soon you guys,
almost everything.
What's that?
Almost everything is funny.
See, now I'm laughing. Just, I don't know why, when you say things, it makes me laugh. Anyway, so that'd be great. And so 3 today. So look, 3's good. And those of you that did demos yesterday, if you did 1, so, Lexi did 3, Daphne did 1, Lance did 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Whatever number of demos that you did, if you didn't get on the phone and set one to take the place of the one that you just did, that is the most important job of today, right? Obviously, we want you to do demos and make sales, right? Obviously, we want you to keep getting recommendations, but we also want to make sure that you're on the phone booking the next days, right? Make sure you have your schedule in front of you. It says, okay, I have a demo opening at 2 o'clock on Sunday, at 3:30 on Sunday, at 5 o'clock on Sunday, whatever the times are, and make those calls and say, Ms. Jones, I've got an opening at 2, I've got an opening at 5:30. Which one of those is better for you, right? And you book those time slots. So if you've done 3, like Jeff did 3, you need to make sure you book 3 more. Okay. You don't want to slip backwards. If you had 10 ahead of you when you finish training, then you want to make sure every night when you go to bed, you always have that 10 ahead of you. Okay. If you will do that, that's the biggest challenge of the job. Okay. You're going to make sales. You're going to get recs. You're going to do all those things, but remembering to keep your schedule booked on paper when all your openings are, and then fill in those slots with people. That is the biggest challenge of the job. If you will do that, you will have the most wonderful time at this job. And learn and grow and all the things that you want to get out of the job, you're going to get. Okay. But that's the secret, and that's the key. All right. I got 6 minutes just for Q&A. Anybody got a question? You can stick around and listen as long as you want for any of these questions, but we're going to stop at 9:15. I'll open up the group chat, see if there's anything that's there that's really important that I need to look at. Anybody else? Hey, Lisa, here's your question. How to handle when I receive 8 recs and waiting to hear back from customer because they better give their friends a heads up text. I don't know. Okay. That's good. Also, I still have to read the entire workbook, but I know where the prices are, but I could not find the homemaker set where to find. All right, let's answer the 2 questions that you had there, Lisa. One question is, so okay, customer gave you 8 names, but no phone numbers, and you're waiting to hear back from them, right? All right. There's a way to handle things beforehand. You've seen the coronavirus training, so you know that the best way to answer an objection is to answer it before it comes up, right? Whether it's on the sales or whether it's even on recommendations or whatever it is, okay? So what I will do is someone's going to say to me, if I'm going to ask for recommendations and they're going to give me the names, okay, and say, I want to call them first. Hey, great. I want you to call them first too. To save you some time, there's 2 ways that most people do it. Okay. One way, Ms. Jones, is when you text your friends, just text me on the same conversation. That way, when they respond, you don't have to remember to then tell me. I'll see their response, whether they want to do it or not, don't want to do it. Okay. That'll make sure that they actually send the text, because if they don't send the text right then within the next 10 minutes, they're probably never going to send a text. Okay. They're going to procrastinate and it's just going to kind of stagnate. Just the same thing with what I was talking to Dat about, if they don't give you the names now, they might not ever give you the names. So that's one way to do it. And the other way to do it, and all they want, I mean, what they want, I respect. They don't want their friends to get mad, and they'd like them to have a heads up. I want them to have a heads up. It's going to make my job easier as a rep for them to have a heads up, right? So, okay, well, here's what we'll do then. If these 8 folks that you're going to do, just I will wait to hear. Just go ahead and give me their numbers, but I'll wait to hear back from you before I contact them. Okay, that's another way to do it. Okay, that way you don't have to worry about getting the numbers and everything. Okay?
I'm sorry, I did say that to him. I didn't say I made a mistake. I didn't get the numbers. Learning experience.
Yep.
Very, very nice man. He did buy, and he really likes knives. His father has passed away, but he used to make knives for a living.
And he bought something, so he's a good customer and everything. So that's good. Yeah. You just want to, have them do the text message on a 3-way text.
Yeah.
The easiest way. Another thing for you, Lisa, this will be easier than some of these younger folks that may not have Facebook, but you guys, there's so much work you can get done on Facebook. So I would Facebook friend Lisa, every customer, right? And say, hey, is it okay if we become Facebook friends? Great. And you friend them, and then you give them a public thank you on Facebook. So you just go to their page and you say, I want to thank you, Johnny, for watching my Cutco demo. I know you're going to love your new Cutco. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you, right? And what will happen is, just like Lance had somebody, was it Lance? No, it was Jeff that had somebody that was there that overheard, hey, Cutco. You'll have people that are friends of this man that own Cutco or have heard of Cutco and hadn't bought it yet. They'll see a post on his thing about Cutco, okay, and they'll be like, "Oh, Cutco," and they'll DM you, or they'll make a comment. "Oh, I love my Cutco," right? I lost 2 steak knives. I need 2 more steak knives, right? And you will get easy customers, right? Just by giving, and plus you're thanking your customer, which is what we ought to be doing anyway. So you're expressing gratitude, right? And referrals and extra demos to do will just kind of manifest, right? If you're utilizing social media to say thank you to people like that. Okay. That's a really good option. And if you have somebody who is hesitant, right, to give the referrals, getting the 8 names even without the numbers, that's at least a start. Okay. You could, you could go to, if you're Facebook friends with him, look at his Facebook friends, see if any of them are the same as the names that they gave you. And then you can message them on Facebook and say, "Hey, I was talking to Johnny the other day. I don't know if he gave you a heads up. He said he was going to give you a heads up. I haven't heard from him, whether he talked to you yet or not. But did he mention I might be getting in contact with you?" You could message him on Facebook or something, right? But you want to thank him publicly first, so that they'll see that you really have a relationship with them, that there's legitimacy there. That makes sense? Got it. Because I don't know what percentage of our demos nationally are being set up now, because we're literally setting up through Facebook Messenger, but we're getting an okay amount of sales and customers by using social media like that.
Is there any other social media that's being used?
Say that again?
Any other social media being used with Cutco?
Well, yeah, there's the two places that we're getting the best. There's some people that have Instagram pages with lots of followers and they do fun things on Instagram. There's lots of cool things you can do there. But I would say there's a social media called Nextdoor. Okay. I'll wait till tomorrow and I'll do a little training maybe on Nextdoor. Maybe we can talk to Lisa one-on-one, talk to Madison. Madison can give you some tips on Nextdoor, because Madison sold $20,000-$30,000 off of Nextdoor easily off that app. It's like Facebook, but it's only localized. Okay. But there's certain ways to use it and certain ways not to use it. Actually, you can get banned from it if you do it wrong. Desiree, I'm going to give you something you can work on social media. You've got so many appointments that you've done, and our client base, their wheelhouse is Facebook, right? They're not usually Instagrammers or Snapchatters nearly as much. So as many of those people as you can, whether you friend them or not, put a thank you on their page. Hey, thank you for letting me show you Cutco, right? And if they bought, you're gonna love it. Please let me know when your knives come in, and I can celebrate with you, or something like that. And you'll exponentially increase the exposure to who knows that you are a Cutco rep. Does that make sense? So it's just a thank you. Don't try to sell Cutco. Guys, the way to do it is just to kind of put it out there that you are with Cutco, but don't try to say, "Hey, does anybody want to see a free Cutco demo?" That's annoying. That's kind of obnoxious. That's not the way to approach it. The way to approach it is just to kind of make it known subtly that you're a rep and wait for people to come to you. Okay, that's really the best approach when it comes to something like that. But say thank you to people that you've done demos for. Say thank you to people who have purchased, and people who have purchased, say you're going to love your new Cutco products for your kitchen. Send me a message when you get it, and be very careful. They're sharp, something like that, and that'll help you learn how to utilize that type of thing. All right, you guys, it's 9:17, so I'm now 2 minutes over. I'll take one last and final question from anybody. I see Isis jumped on here a little bit late. We didn't get to talk to you. We'll get your stats tomorrow morning. Anybody else with a question before I jump off?
I have a question.
Yes, Catherine.
What if we have Spanish speakers?
Spanish speakers. You got Jason Guerrero, who's on here, who's one of our best field trainers. He does them in Spanish. And do you have the Spanish demo and the Spanish, the 2 sites that you use, Get Vector Trained? There's one in Spanish. And the site that the customer goes to, there's that one in Spanish also. Do you have those 2 websites? Are the videos on Spanish too? What's that?
Are the videos on Spanish too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Do you have those websites or not?
No, not yet.
Hans, put it in the group chat for me, will you?
Thank you.
Pulling it up right now. I know the My Cutco demo is midemodecutco.com. Let me get the My Vector Trained. I don't have that one memorized off the top of my head.
Okay, do you see it in the group chat there, Catherine? It's Me Demo de Cutco.
Yeah.
Catherine, you're Covina, right?
No, I'm Long Beach.
Oh, you're Long Beach. What did I think? There's a Catherine in Covina too. I think there's 2 Kathys or 2 Catherines in the training yesterday. Yeah. So what time is your appointment today? You're Spanish speaking?
At 2:15.
2:15. Jason, are you here? Can you hear me?
All right. And then the My Vector Train is entrenadoporvector.com.
Okay, thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
here, Big Red.
Any chance you have availability at 2:15 today to help out super awesome and amazing Catherine?
Let me check my schedule real quick here. Let's see. You said 2:15?
2:50?
If not, we can also do it at 5:30.
Same person or a different one?
A different person, but also Spanish speaker.
I'd rather try to do the first one if we can.
Okay.
And if Jason can't, we've got somebody named Kim Duarte who can probably do it.
Yeah, I can't do 2:15. Kim would honestly be a better person anyways. Her
Yeah, well-
Spanish is a lot better than mine. I gotta
Okay.
admit that.
Okay.
All right, Catherine, post for me your phone number in the group chat, and I will send it over to Kim and have Kim get in touch with you.
Okay.
Kim's great. Jason sold more than Kim has, but her Spanish is better. All right, right there, got it. Copy that. Thank you. All right, you guys. Hey, thanks for your time. Tomorrow morning, same time, 8:15. Desiree, what do you got lined up today? You got another 5 today?
I have 6. I want to try and get one more at 7:30, but it's a little bit harder because everyone's like, "Oh, we got plans. We're gonna go out."
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
gonna.
yeah. Well, yeah. I appreciate your tenacity to trying to keep cranking on those, but and I know you're working hard. And there was, let's see, did you get a hold of Advanced Training 6 by Mark Lovis? Did you listen to that one?
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to you also listened to Flip the Switch?
I did.
So your brain is getting bombarded. NJ was like, I don't know if we're giving Desiree too much stuff, because when I made that suggestion about possibly having you join our task force meeting last night for the customized website program, NJ's like, man, I don't know. You're giving her you're putting a lot of stuff in her head, so we gotta slow down a little bit. But you're doing so many demos, we want to make sure we get the best possible results on them. Who's your very best prospect today, you think?
My first one was actually a Cutco winner.
Right. Okay.
Her daughter's ex-boyfriend used to sell Cutco, so she bought a homemaker set.
Okay.
And some additional stuff. So she sent my mom a picture of her set, but not the whole knife. So I'm gonna have her text me like, "Can you pull out all your knives so I can see which knives you actually have?"
Totally great. So
and
upgrade specials is what you need on that. You say, since you're already on Cutco, you're eligible for one of our upgrade specials, and people like to be eligible for specials, so you're eligible for that. Is anybody scheduled to field train with you on that yet? NJ would be pretty good, probably.
I think Jason's going to field train on me with that one.
Okay. Jason understands the upgrades on there too. Good. All right. Well, I know that you're continuing to keep cranking, so just run to the dang finish line, and we'll end up where we'll end up. And the magic happens. I'm just telling you that I've seen it happen. I can't make any 100% guarantees, but I've seen it happen so many times that, when people have a goal and they're pushing toward it, like Madison sold like $2,000 on her last demo of her last day of her fast start to crank over the 10K mark. It was like a 9:30 at night demo.
$2,800.
A $2,800 one demo?
No, I
On the
had
last
5
day.
demos that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last day.
Yeah. So anyway, I've seen miracle things happen. Just keep telling people you've got what your goal is. Keep telling people you're working hard toward it, and there might be somebody. I've literally had it happen maybe 5 times that I've heard reps telling me this. That I was telling the customer I had the goal for this contest, and they said, "How much do you need for your goal?" And I said, $3,600. He goes, "Let's see what we can do." Right? And they bought the whole thing. Okay. You just don't know what can happen. So just keep sharing, keep rocking. And today is the day of sets. Okay, we're gonna get some sets sold, or some upgrades at least. Okay, that's gonna happen. I'm putting my prediction on paper right now. I'm gonna write it down. Sets, boom, SETS, boom, done. Okay. All right, you guys. Why are you still here? We're supposed to be done like 8 minutes ago. Am I so intriguing and so fascinating? You just must stay and listen. I'm gonna end the meeting. Thank you, guys. Questions? Keep in touch with your managers today, and we'll see you tomorrow, 8:15. And Desiree, excited to hear about tomorrow, how it goes. All right. See ya.